The vast chamber of the Galactic Council buzzed with excitement. Hundreds of alien species from across the Milky Way gathered for their annual meeting. Some had tentacles, others had multiple eyes, and a few were even made of pure energy. But they all shared one thing: a sense of superiority over the lesser races of the galaxy. At the center of the chamber, High Counselor Zixnax called for order. The tall, blue-skinned alien tapped his gravity hammer, and silence fell over the room. "Esteemed colleagues," Zixnax began, his voice booming through the translator devices, "we have an exciting discovery to discuss. Our deep space probes have found a new inhabited planet in a backwater arm of the galaxy." Holographic images appeared above the central platform. They showed a blue and green world, teeming with life. Cities dotted the continents, and primitive spacecraft orbited the planet. "Behold, the planet known to its inhabitants as Earth," Zixnax announced. Murmurs of interest rippled through the crowd. A reptilian alien raised a clawed hand. "Yes, Representative Slar," Zixnax acknowledged. "What level of technology do these Earthlings possess?" Slar hissed. Zixnax chuckled, a sound like grinding gears. "They have barely left their own planet. Their most advanced ships can't even reach the edge of their solar system. They are, by our standards, utterly primitive." The chamber erupted in laughter. The idea of such a backward species existing in their advanced galaxy amused them greatly. But Zixnax continued, silencing the room. "They have something we want. Their planet is rich in resources, minerals, water, and a stable atmosphere. It would make an excellent colony for our expanding empire." A pink, blob-like alien oozed forward. "Surely you don't suggest we bother with conquest? These primitives couldn't possibly resist us." Zixnax nodded. "Precisely, Counselor Blob. Which is why I propose we launch an immediate invasion. We'll add Earth to our empire before these humans even realize what's happening." The vote was unanimous. The Galactic Council, in its arrogance, decided to conquer Earth without a second thought. Meanwhile, on the blue planet below, life continued as normal. In New York City, Sarah Johnson hurried down a busy street, late for work. She dodged tourists and angry taxi drivers, her mind on the important presentation she had to give. Little did Sarah know that high above, alien ships were already entering the solar system. The fate of her world hung in the balance, and humanity was completely unaware. Across the planet, in a small village in China, Farmer Lai Wei tended his rice paddies. He wiped sweat from his brow and looked up at the clear blue sky. For a moment, he thought he saw a strange light moving among the clouds, but he shrugged it off as a trick of the sun and went back to work. That trick of the sun was actually an alien scout ship, cloaked from human detection. It scanned the planet's surface, mapping out strategic locations for the coming invasion. In Moscow, Russian scientists gathered excitedly around a computer screen. They had detected an unusual signal from deep space. Was this finally proof of alien life? Dr. Andrei Petrov, the lead researcher, frowned at the data. "This can't be right," he muttered. "The signal, it's like nothing we've ever seen before." His colleague, Dr. Yelena Volkova, suggested, "Perhaps we should inform the government. This could be important." Andrei hesitated. "Not yet. We need to be sure. Let's run more tests first." Their caution would cost Earth dearly. By the time they realized the truth, it would be too late. At the United Nations in Geneva, diplomats argued about climate change and economic policies. They believed these were the greatest challenges facing their world. None of them could have imagined the real threat looming just beyond the moon. As day turned to night across the globe, billions of humans went about their lives. They watched TV, ate dinner with their families, and went to sleep, blissfully unaware of the danger approaching from the stars. In orbit, the International Space Station continued its silent journey. Astronaut John Martinez looked out the window at the Earth below, marveling at its beauty. Suddenly, a flash of light caught his eye. "Houston, are you seeing this?" He radioed to Mission Control. "Negative, John. What are you observing?" Martinez squinted, trying to make sense of what he was seeing. "I'm not sure. It looks like ships. Hundreds of them, just appearing out of nowhere. On the dark side of the moon, the Galactic Council's invasion fleet decloaked. Thousands of warships, each capable of destroying an entire city, prepared for the attack. Admiral Krakow, the fleet commander, bared his fangs in a vicious smile. "Begin the invasion," he ordered. "Let's show these primitives the power of a real civilization." As the alien armada descended upon the unsuspecting Earth, humanity's greatest challenge was about to begin. The people of Earth were about to learn that not only were they not alone in the universe, but they were also seen as nothing more than prey to be conquered. Little did the Galactic Council know, they had just awakened a sleeping giant. Humanity was about to show the galaxy why it should never be underestimated. As the alien fleet hovered above Earth's atmosphere, Admiral Krakow paused. A new idea had formed in his cruel mind. "Wait," he commanded his officers. "Let's not rush in guns blazing. I have a better plan." The Admiral's eyes gleamed with malice. "We'll trick these humans, make them think we come in peace. Then, when they least expect it, we'll crush them completely." On Earth, chaos erupted as the alien ships became visible to all. Governments scrambled to respond, militaries went on high alert, and civilians panicked in the streets. In Washington, D.C., President Emma Rodriguez called an emergency meeting. World leaders joined via video conference, their faces pale with worry. "Ladies and gentlemen," Rodriguez began, her voice steady despite her fear, "we are facing an unprecedented situation. Alien ships have entered our airspace. We must decide how to respond." Just then, a message came through on all channels worldwide. Admiral Krakow's face appeared on screens everywhere. "People of Earth," the alien said, his words translated into every human language. "We come in peace. We are the Galactic Council, a union of advanced civilizations. We wish to welcome you into our family of species." In New York, Sarah Johnson watched the broadcast from her office, her earlier presentation forgotten. "This can't be real," she whispered, but deep down she knew it was. Across the world, reactions varied. Some people celebrated, believing this was the dawn of a new era. Others remained suspicious, fearing the aliens' true intentions. In his Moscow lab, Dr. Andrei Petrov frowned at the alien message. "Something's not right," he muttered to Dr. Volkova. "The signal we detected earlier, it didn't match this peaceful message." Yelena nodded, her face grim. "We need to warn someone, but who would believe us?" Meanwhile, the Galactic Council began their deception in earnest. They invited Earth's leaders to a grand meeting on their main ship. President Rodriguez and other world leaders cautiously agreed. As the human delegation boarded the alien vessel, they marveled at the advanced technology. Lights flickered in impossible colors, and gravity seemed to shift at will. Admiral Krakow greeted them with a fake smile. "Welcome, friends," he said, spreading his arms wide. "We have so much to share with you." For the next few days, the aliens showered humanity with gifts. They offered cures for diseases, solutions for clean energy, and promises of interstellar travel. Earth buzzed with excitement. But not everyone was convinced. In her small apartment, Sarah Johnson couldn't shake a feeling of unease. She started a blog, voicing her suspicions about the aliens' sudden generosity. "Why would such an advanced civilization be interested in us?" she wrote. "What do they really want?" Her blog gained traction. Soon, a small but growing group of humans began to question the aliens' motives. On the other side of the world, Liwi noticed strange devices being planted in his fields by alien visitors. When he asked about them, the aliens brushed him off with vague explanations about atmospheric research. Lai didn't buy it. He secretly dug up one of the devices and hid it in his barn. He planned to show it to local authorities, but before he could, the aliens returned. They searched the village, their friendly demeanor replaced by threatening gestures. Aboard the International Space Station, now joined by alien observers, John Martinez felt increasingly uneasy. The aliens never let the human astronauts out of their sight, always watching, always listening. One night, as the aliens thought Martinez was asleep, he overheard them talking in their own language. His translator picked up fragments: invasion, subjugate, resources. Martinez's blood ran cold. He had to warn Earth, but how? The aliens controlled all communications. Back on the surface, President Rodriguez and her advisors met in secret. Despite the aliens' gifts, they had noticed worrying signs. Military satellites had spotted alien ships scanning Earth's defenses. Strange structures were being built in remote areas without explanation. "We need to prepare for the worst," Rodriguez said grimly. "But we can't let the aliens know we suspect anything. We need time." As Earth's leaders began secret preparations, the aliens continued their charade. They announced a grand ceremony to officially welcome humanity into the Galactic Council. Little did they know, humanity was not as naive as they thought. Seeds of suspicion had been planted, and Earth was quietly preparing for a fight. In his quarters, Admiral Krakel gloated over the success of his plan. "Soon," he growled, "very soon, we'll show these primitive humans their true place in the galaxy." But Earth had a few surprises in store for the overconfident Galactic Council. The stage was set for a conflict that would shake the very foundations of the galaxy. The day of the grand ceremony arrived. Billions of humans watched their screens as world leaders gathered in New York City to officially join the Galactic Council. The aliens had chosen the iconic United Nations building as the site for this historic event. President Emma Rodriguez stood at the podium, her face a mask of diplomatic calm. But her eyes darted nervously to the alien delegates. Something felt off. Admiral Krakel stepped forward. His tentacles waving in what humans had learned was a sign of joy. "Today," he announced, his words echoing across the planet, "Earth joins our galactic family." As the crowd cheered, Sarah Johnson pushed through the masses outside the UN. Her blog had gained her a devoted following, and she was determined to expose the truth. She clutched a small device Dr. Petrov had sent her from Moscow, a scanner that could detect alien energy signatures. Inside the UN, President Rodriguez was about to sign the treaty. Her pen hovered over the paper. Suddenly, her earpiece crackled to life. It was a secure channel from her military advisors. "Madam President," a urgent voice whispered, "don't sign. We have confirmation. It's a trap." Rodriguez's hand froze. She looked up at Admiral Krakel, whose friendly smile had turned into a menacing grin. "Now," Krakel roared. In that instant, chaos erupted. The alien delegates shed their peaceful facades, pulling out weapons. World leaders scrambled for cover as energy blasts scorched the room. Outside, Sarah's scanner went haywire. The sky darkened as thousands of hidden alien ships decloaked. The invasion had begun. Across the globe, the scene repeated itself. In Moscow, Dr. Petrov and Dr. Volkova watched in horror as alien troops materialized in Red Square. In rural China, Lai Wei saw massive war machines rise from hidden underground bases in his fields. The alien attack was swift and brutal. Major cities worldwide were hit simultaneously. Energy weapons far beyond human technology rained destruction from the sky. But humanity was not completely unprepared. In secret bunkers around the world, military leaders sprang into action. They had used the time bought by the aliens' deception to prepare as best they could. Fighter jets scrambled from hidden bases. They were outdated compared to alien ships, but the pilots flew with desperate courage. In the skies over London, Tokyo, and Cairo, dogfights erupted between Earth's jets and alien fighters. On the ground, tanks rolled out to face towering alien war machines. The humans were outgunned, but they fought with a ferocity that surprised the invaders. Every street, every building became a battleground. In New York, Sarah Johnson found herself in the middle of the chaos. She used her knowledge from her blog research to guide a group of survivors through the burning streets. "We need to find a way to communicate," she shouted over the noise of battle. "The world needs to know what's happening." Meanwhile, aboard the International Space Station, John Martinez made a daring move. While the alien observers were distracted by the invasion below, he snuck into their communication room. With skills born of desperation, he managed to hijack their advanced transmitters. "This is the ISS." His voice crackled across all frequencies, even reaching the secure channels of Earth's militaries. "The aliens are hostile. I repeat, the aliens are hostile. But they have weaknesses. Their ships can't handle rapid changes in electromagnetic fields. Use that against them." His message was cut short as the alien observers discovered him. But the damage was done. A spark of hope ignited in the hearts of Earth's defenders. In Washington, D.C., the Pentagon buzzed with activity. General Maria Santos, who had long been skeptical of the aliens, took charge. "You heard the man," she barked to her staff. "Get every EMP device we have operational. And someone find me Nikola Tesla's old research notes." As the first day of the invasion drew to a close, the situation looked grim for humanity. Major cities lay in ruins, millions were dead or missing, and alien forces seemed unstoppable. But the aliens had made a crucial mistake. They had expected an easy victory over a primitive species. Instead, they found themselves facing the united human race, fighting with unexpected skill and determination. In his command ship, Admiral Krakel frowned at the reports coming in. Human resistance was stronger than anticipated. Casualties on both sides were high. This was not the simple conquest he had promised the Galactic Council. As night fell over a battle-scarred Earth, neither side could claim victory. The war had only just begun, and humanity was about to show the galaxy what it was truly capable of when pushed to the brink. As dawn broke on the second day of the invasion, the true scale of the destruction became clear. Major cities around the world lay in ruins, smoke rising from the wreckage of once proud skyscrapers. But amid the chaos, humanity's hidden strength began to emerge. In the basement of a half-collapsed building in New York, Sarah Johnson huddled with a group of survivors. Among them was a young tech genius named Alex Chen. Together, they worked feverishly on a makeshift communication device. "If we can tap into the alien frequencies," Alex muttered, his fingers flying over a jury-rigged keyboard, "we might be able to coordinate a global resistance." Sarah nodded, her eyes gleaming with determination. "And we can use my blog network to spread the word." Halfway across the world, in the scorched fields of rural China, Lai Wei led a group of farmers in a daring raid on an alien supply depot. Their weapons were simple: pitchforks, hunting rifles, and homemade explosives, but their knowledge of the land gave them an edge. "They may have fancy guns," Lai told his neighbors, "but we know every hill and valley. This is our home, and we will defend it." In Moscow, Dr. Petrov and Dr. Volkova had transformed their lab into a command center for scientific resistance. They worked tirelessly, analyzing alien technology from debris collected in the streets. "Look at this," Volkova exclaimed, holding up a twisted piece of metal. "Their alloys aren't designed to withstand extreme temperature changes. Our winters could be their weakness." Petrov grinned. "Excellent. Now let's figure out how to exploit that on a larger scale." Meanwhile, in orbit, John Martinez had managed to barricade himself in a section of the International Space Station. Using the aliens' own communication equipment, he became a crucial link between Earth's scattered defenders. "The aliens are moving troops to Rio de Janeiro," he radioed down. "They seem to be establishing a major base there." On the ground, military forces around the world began to adapt to the aliens' tactics. In the skies over Europe, fighter pilots discovered that the alien ships had a blind spot directly beneath them. It was a small weakness, but it was enough to turn the tide of several key battles. General Santos, operating from a mobile command center, coordinated a series of guerrilla strikes against alien positions. Hit and run. she ordered her troops. Don't give them a chance to bring their big guns to bear. But humanity's greatest strength lay not in its military might, but in its creativity and adaptability. In Japan, a team of robotics engineers reprogrammed industrial machines to become battle mechs. In Silicon Valley, programmers worked around the clock to create viruses that could infiltrate alien computer systems. Even children played their part. In London, a group of school kids used their gaming skills to pilot drone swarms, confusing alien sensors and providing crucial intelligence to the resistance. Admiral Kruckle, watching from his orbiting flagship, grew increasingly frustrated. How are these primitives giving us so much trouble? He snarled at his subordinates. They barely had spaceflight a week ago. What Kruckle failed to understand was the very thing that made humans dangerous: their diversity. Each human approached problems differently, creating a chaos of innovation that the regimented alien forces struggled to counter. As the first week of the invasion drew to a close, the aliens found themselves in an unexpected situation. They still held the upper hand in terms of technology and firepower, but their supply lines were stretched thin. Human resistance grew stronger every day, and the easy victory they had anticipated was nowhere in sight. In Washington, D.C., President Rodriguez emerged from a secure bunker to address what remained of Congress. Her voice, broadcasted on hidden channels around the world, rang with defiance. "We may be bloodied, but we are not beaten," she declared. "Humanity has faced extinction before, from ice ages, from plagues, from our own folly. Each time, we have emerged stronger. This invasion will be no different. We will survive. We will fight back. And in the end, we will win." Her words spread like wildfire through the resistance networks. From the rubble of cities to the depths of hidden bunkers, humans rallied to the cause. The aliens had awakened a sleeping giant, and now they would face the full fury of a united Earth. As night fell once more, the tide of the war was slowly, but surely, beginning to turn. Humanity's hidden strength was emerging, and the galaxy was about to learn why it should never underestimate the human spirit. 2 weeks into the invasion, the tide of war began to shift dramatically. Humanity, once on the brink of defeat, was now pushing back against the alien forces with increasing success. In New York, Sarah Johnson and Alex Shen's makeshift communication network had grown into a global system. Resistance groups worldwide coordinated their efforts, sharing intel and strategies in real time. "We've cracked their encryption," Alex shouted excitedly one day, his eyes glued to a computer screen. "We can intercept their communications now." Sarah grinned, immediately broadcasting the news to their network. "This is a game changer," she said. "Now we can predict their moves before they make them." Across the Atlantic, in a secret facility beneath the ruins of London, Dr. Emily Watson led a team of scientists in a groundbreaking project. They had been studying captured alien technology, and their efforts were about to pay off. "We've done it," Dr. Watson announced to her team, holding up a small device. "This shield generator can protect our vehicles from their energy weapons." Within days, factories around the world began mass-producing the shields. Human tanks and aircraft, once easy targets for alien weapons, suddenly became formidable opponents. In orbit, John Martinez had managed to rally the crews of several human space stations. Using salvaged alien parts and human ingenuity, they cobbled together a fleet of makeshift space fighters. "This is Blue Leader," Martinez radioed as he led the first attack on an alien destroyer. "Remember, aim for their blind spots. Let's show these invaders what humans can do in space." The battle that followed was fierce, but the human pilots' unpredictable tactics caught the aliens off guard. For the first time since the invasion began, a major alien ship fell from the sky, crashing into the Antarctic ice. On the ground, the war took on a new dimension. Lai Wei and his fellow farmers had inspired a global movement of civilian resistance. Using their intimate knowledge of the land, they disrupted alien supply lines and ambushed patrols. In Brazil, where the aliens had established a major base, Local guerrillas used the dense Amazon rainforest to their advantage. They lured alien troops into treacherous swamps and picked them off with poisoned darts and improvised traps. Even in occupied cities, the human spirit refused to be crushed. In Paris, resistance fighters used the ancient catacombs to move unseen, emerging to strike at alien positions before disappearing back into the labyrinth of tunnels. General Santos, coordinating the military response from her mobile command center, could hardly believe the reports coming in. "We're pushing them back," she muttered, studying a holographic map of Earth. "It's working." Perhaps the most significant turning point came from an unexpected source. In Silicon Valley, a team of hackers led by a teenage prodigy named Zoe Blackwell had been working tirelessly on a secret project. "It's a virus," Zoe explained to military leaders over a secure video call. "But not just any virus. It's designed to infiltrate and take control of their AI systems." The plan was daring. Upload the virus to the alien mothership orbiting Earth. If it worked, it could disable the entire invasion force in one stroke. The mission to deliver the virus fell to a joint team of astronauts and special forces, led by none other than John Martinez. Using a captured alien shuttle, they approached the mothership under the guise of a routine patrol. "We're in," Martinez whispered as they docked with the massive ship. "Commencing upload now." For several tense minutes, the fate of Earth hung in the balance. Then, suddenly, alien ships worldwide began to falter. Some crashed, others drifted aimlessly in space. In his command center, Admiral Crockle watched in horror as he lost control of his fleet. "Impossible," he roared. "How could these primitives defeat our superior technology?" As the alien invasion crumbled, cheers erupted in cities around the world. Humanity had done the impossible. They had taken the aliens' greatest strength, their advanced technology, and turned it against them. President Rodriguez, speaking from the steps of the rebuilt White House, summed up the sentiment of the entire planet. "Today, we have proved that the human spirit, when united in the face of adversity, is the most powerful force in the universe." The tables had turned. The hunters had become the hunted, and the Galactic Council was about to learn just how dangerous an angry Earth could be. With the alien invasion force crippled by Zoe Blackwell's virus, Earth's leaders wasted no time in launching a daring counteroffensive. The time had come to take the fight to the stars. In a secret facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Emily Watson and her team had reverse-engineered the aliens faster than light drive. "It's not perfect," she explained to a room full of military and civilian leaders, "but it will get us to their home worlds." President Rodriguez nodded gravely. "Then it's time. Operation Cosmic Payback begins now." Across the globe, humanity pooled its resources. Factories that once made cars now produced starship components. The first human battle fleet took shape in orbit, a mix of captured alien vessels and hybrid human-alien designs. Sarah Johnson, now a key figure in Earth's new space command, stood on the bridge of the flagship, the HSS Vengeance. Besides her was General Santos, selected to lead the mission. "We're making history," Sarah said, looking out at the assembled fleet. "The first humans to leave our solar system." General Santos smiled grimly. "And we're bringing a message: don't mess with Earth." As the fleet prepared to depart, John Martinez broadcast a message to the entire planet. "People of Earth, this is Commander Martinez. We go now to defend our world and show the galaxy that humanity is a force to be reckoned with. Wish us luck." With a flash of light, the human fleet vanished into the depths of space. Their first target was Proxima Centauri, the nearest star system and home to one of the Galactic Council's major outposts. The alien defenders were caught completely off guard when the human fleet appeared in their skies. "This is General Maria Santos of Earth," her message boomed across alien frequencies. "Your invasion of our world has failed. Surrender now, or face the consequences." The battle that followed was short but fierce. Human ships, nimble and unpredictable, ran circles around the larger alien vessels. Alex Chen's hacking skills allowed them to shut down alien defenses with ease. Within hours, the Proxima Centauri system had fallen to Earth's forces. It was humanity's first extraterrestrial victory, but far from the last. News of Earth's revenge spread quickly through the galaxy. On hundreds of worlds, alien citizens watched in disbelief as humans, a species they had never heard of weeks ago, carved a path of retribution through Galactic Council space. Not all their victories came through battle. On the planet Zorg, home to a race of silicon-based lifeforms, Lai Wei led a diplomatic mission. His simple farmer's wisdom and genuine desire for peace won over the Zorgians, who declared neutrality in the conflict. In the Betelgeuse system, Zoe Blackwell's virus caused a chain reaction in the massive shipyards there. The entire facility shut down, crippling the Galactic Council's ability to produce new warships. Back on the front lines, the HSS Vengeance pushed deeper into enemy territory. They encountered resistance, but nothing like the overwhelming force that had initially attacked Earth. "They're scattered, disorganized," General Santos observed. They never expected to fight a war on their own turf. As Earth's fleet approached Silox, the capital world of the Galactic Council, Admiral Krakol made a last, desperate stand. He had gathered what remained of the Council's forces for a final battle. "Humans," he snarled over an open channel. "You have no idea of the forces you're meddling with. Surrender now, and we may show mercy." Sarah Johnson stepped forward to reply. "Mercy? Like the mercy you showed Earth? I don't think so. We're here to make sure you never threaten another world again." The battle for Xylox was the largest yet. Human ships danced through asteroid fields, using maneuvers that made their alien opponents sick just watching. On the planet's surface, Special Forces teams led by Martinez sabotaged key facilities. After 3 days of intense fighting, the Galactic Council's defenses crumbled. Admiral Krakol's flagship, once a symbol of alien supremacy, drifted powerless in orbit. As human forces secured the Galactic Council's seat of power, a message was broadcast to every world in the galaxy. It showed President Rodriguez standing proudly in front of the United Nations building on Earth. To all sentient beings in the galaxy, she began, "Let this be a lesson. Earth is not a primitive backwater to be conquered. We are not easy prey. We are humanity, and we have come to reshape the stars." The galaxy would never be the same again. The era of human expansion had begun, and the stars themselves trembled at the approach of Earth's vicious revenge. 1 year after the fall of Xylox, the galaxy was a changed place. The once mighty Galactic Council lay in ruins, and in its place stood a new power, the United Terran Alliance. On Earth, the scars of invasion were healing. Cities rose from the ashes, stronger and more advanced than before. Alien technology, now understood and improved upon by human scientists, had revolutionized every aspect of life. Sarah Johnson stood at the podium in the newly constructed Galactic Assembly Building in Geneva. As Earth's ambassador to the stars, she addressed representatives from 100 alien worlds. Friends, allies, and former enemies, she began, her voice carrying across the vast chamber. "We gather here today not to celebrate victory, but to ensure lasting peace." In the audience, Lai Wei nodded approvingly. His diplomatic skills had been crucial in bringing many alien races to the negotiating table. Beside him sat a delegation from Zorg, their crystalline bodies glittering in the Earth's sunlight. Sarah continued, "The United Terran Alliance proposes a new galactic government, one based not on conquest, but on cooperation, where each species' strengths are celebrated and our differences become our greatest asset." As she spoke, screens around the chamber displayed images from across the galaxy. Human doctors worked alongside alien healers, combining their knowledge to cure diseases once thought incurable. On distant worlds, Earth's farmers like Lai Wei taught sustainable agriculture techniques, ending cycles of famine. In orbit above, the HSS Vengeance, now a symbol of peace rather than war, docked with an alien station. John Martinez, its captain, shook hands, and tentacles, with beings from a dozen worlds. His crew, a mix of humans and aliens, exemplified the new spirit of cooperation. Back on Earth, Alex Chen and Zoe Blackwell led a team of human and alien scientists and engineers. Together, they tackled the greatest technological challenges of the age. Their latest project, a device to rehabilitate worlds ravaged by centuries of galactic warfare. It's ironic, Zoe mused as they worked. The Galactic Council thought we were primitive, but our primitive thinking is solving problems their advanced civilization couldn't. Alex nodded. That's the beauty of human innovation. We see solutions where others see only problems. In New York, Dr. Emily Watson presented her latest findings to a mixed human-alien audience. By combining our understanding of physics with the scientific traditions of a dozen worlds, we're on the brink of unlocking the fundamental secrets of the universe. Her words were broadcast across the galaxy, inspiring a new age of scientific cooperation and discovery. But not all was peaceful. On the fringes of known space, General Santos led a joint human-alien peacekeeping force. They sought out remnants of the old Galactic Council who still clung to dreams of conquest. Stay sharp, she warned her diverse crew as they approached a distant planet. We're not here to fight, but to protect. Every world out there deserves the chance to join our alliance freely, without fear. As the galactic community debated and voted on the structure of their new government, one figure washed from the shadows. Admiral Krakow, once the feared leader of the invasion fleet, now sat in a high-security prison on Mars. A human guard approached his cell. "You have a visitor, Admiral." To Krakow's surprise, President Rodriguez herself stepped into view. "I thought you should see this," she said, activating a holographic display. The image showed the vote tally from the Galactic Assembly. Species after species, including many former council races, had voted to join the United Terran Alliance. "I don't understand," Krakow muttered. "How did you do this? How did you conquer the galaxy so quickly?" Rodriguez smiled. "That's where you're wrong, Admiral. We didn't conquer the galaxy. We united it. You tried to destroy us, but in doing so, you gave humanity a gift. A chance to show the universe what we're truly capable of." As she left, Krakow stared out at the Martian landscape, finally beginning to understand the true strength of the species he had so gravely underestimated. In Geneva, as the final votes were tallied, Sarah Johnson raised her hands for silence. "It's official," she announced, her voice choked with emotion. "The United Terran Alliance is now the recognized government of the Milky Way. Today we begin a new chapter in galactic history." Cheers erupted, not just in the assembly hall, but on thousands of worlds across the galaxy. Humanity had not only survived, not only taken their revenge, but had reshaped the very fabric of galactic society. The stars, once a distant dream, were now humanity's home, and the galaxy would never be the same again.